Everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to a Vintage Vanity. I am super excited about this video because, well, you guys are here. And we today are doing something we have never done on this channel before, one of which is to pet a cat and do an intro all at the same time. I know, I'm so talented, but also to do a Q&A. I know, it's kind of weird to think that I've never done a Q&A, but recently I was on my Instagram doing a live stream, and the video that I was going to do this week actually fell through, and I didn't want to go another week without a video, so I asked you guys what you wanted to see, and this is what you guys came up with. And so I asked for your cues here on YouTube and over on Instagram, and my gosh, you guys really came through with not only some really good questions, but honestly more than I can answer in one video. So what I am going to do is I'm going to continue to pet a cat as much as I can throughout this video, but ooh, cat butt. But also I am going to be answering some of these questions as well over on Instagram stories throughout the week, so make sure that you're following me on Instagram. And yes, my cat has an extremely long tail. I think I measured it. It's been like, I'm gonna measure my, that was a question. Can you measure your cat's tail for me? Let's see. 13 inches. My cat has a 13-inch tail. It's long. Go measure your cat's tail, right? I'm not gonna redo this intro. I'm not. No, I'm not. You're just gonna be part of the intro. Yes, you are. You're gonna be part of the whole thing. All right. So, you guys follow me on Instagram for the rest of the questions. But what I kind of did is I didn't go through and really think too much about these because I want it to just be kind of a stream of consciousness and not like a pre-thought out answer. So what I did do though is I kind of divided them into three categories: general, sewing, and fashion. So I'm just going to go through them and answer them. That's how a Q&A works from what I've been told. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start things off with Kayla Sharp and Letitia Harold. Both asked kind of the same question, and that is how I got started on my vintage journey. And I began my vintage lifestyle about 10, 11 years ago, though I would say vintage has been a part of my life for my entire life. I was in love with all the movies from the 40s and the 50s and the 30s and everything else since I was a youngin'. So I've always been fascinated with Hollywood's classic style. And I always kind of, when I dressed, I always thought like, I'm gonna go a little on the Audrey side today or a little on the Doris side. So I had these classic Hollywood actresses always in mind when I was trying to dress in modern styles. And to be honest with you, as much as I've loved fashion my entire life, I've never really felt comfortable trying to adhere to traditional fashion trends. And I've always felt like I was trying to fit a round peg into a square hole. And then unfortunately, like 12 years ago, my dad passed away, and it was just one of those defining moments where I realized, you know, life is really, really short, and it's way too short to not do what you want to do and be who you are and basically say, screw what everybody else thinks. You know, I just gained confidence to kind of try what I really wanted to do. And once I started embracing that, just good things came from it. Letitia also wanted to know when we can look forward to the next sew along. There is one planned. Here's the other thing is I don't want to, I keep promising that I'm going to do this and do that, and then life gets in the way, and then I start doing other things. Just know that more sew-alongs are coming, but like the meticulous ones, I'm not going to be doing anymore, where I'm going through step by step, just because it takes the joy out of sewing for me, if that makes sense. But I really, really love sharing the process of creating something with you guys. So those will still be around. So kind of like a sewing vlog, sharing like small sewing tips throughout the videos. So I'm excited about that. Fawn Teresa asks, how old was I when I started my vintage journey? And you know, I am going to go with the whole adage of a lady never tells her age. As I said, it was about 11 years ago. And honestly, I am older. I am over 40. The only reason why I do not say my age on social media is not because I'm ashamed of my age. I'm actually proud of my age, because along with that age has come a lot of wisdom and a lot of growing into who I am. And I've earned every single one of those years. And I want people to know that you don't stop at a certain age. Um, your style, your beauty, your uniqueness, nerve, and talent, as RuPaul would say, doesn't stop when you hit a certain age. And I wish more people would realize that too, and not be afraid of the numbers to come. But I will say, I struggle with some of the numbers, but that's societal's ideals of what a number means and what that means for you to be that number. We're not living in that society anymore. We're not those people anymore. There's a lot more freedom now, and we need to embrace that. So the question then becomes, again, if you're so proud of it, why don't you say how old you are? And the reason is because as a career, I do work in social media, and that means that when I apply for jobs, that they will look at my social media. And while we have come really far, the age of a person can sometimes limit their job opportunities, and that's really why I don't say my age on social media. It shouldn't be the case, but it is, and I never want my job opportunities to be limited by people's perception of where or what or who you should be at a certain age. If that makes sense. So the next question, I'm going to kind of combine two questions from Carmen Sparkle and Semantics. And essentially what the question is how do you get the confidence to go out in everyday style? And do you see people looking at you and commenting and all that kind of thing? And I would say now I do it without really thinking about it too much. People probably do comment, they probably do stare, but quite honestly, their opinions don't matter to me. At the end of the day, I don't dress for other people, I dress for myself, and the way I dress makes me feel really good. I am more confident in the way that I dress. It does so much for me, and it is to make me happy. So really what other people say doesn't really matter. But at the end of the day, it took me, like I said, I've been doing this for 11 years, so that newness of doing it can be a little scary sometimes, because, what are people going to say if I go walking around, looking like I walked out of a 50s ad? And I would say to grow your confidence in wearing a style that makes you feel amazing is to take people with you that support you and believe in you, and go out with them. And then you're not going to notice looks or stares or anything like that, because you're just going to be in your bubble with your friends, and it'll help grow that confidence. And you'll find a lot of times as well that the looks and the stares and the conversation, we're the ones thinking that they're like, oh, go, did you look at that person over there? But what we don't realize a lot of times is some of those people are actually saying, oh, dude, she looks so pretty. Oh my gosh, I could never wear that, but oh, she looks amazing in it, right? Why do we always assume people might be saying the worst, right? But when you see those looks, or you see somebody talking, maybe they're saying something good, and start putting that in your head. And quite frankly as well, if they're saying negative things, again, who cares? You're not dressing for them, you're dressing for you, right? And you're doing it to make you happy. And quite honestly, people who judge other people that harshly are people that are living very sad lives. Because, okay, I could go off on a thing right now, because I hate people judging other people, because we don't know what goes on in somebody else's lives, and how dare somebody judge somebody else when they don't know their full story, right? Am I right? Am I right? I am right. I am right in that. So Annette Hughes asked a really great question, which can get so deep. So I'm going to try to do this very succinctly. But she asked, what is it that I love about the 1950s? Seems like such a simple question, but I want to be really clear about what it is that I love, because I very much value the aesthetics of the past and the romantic idealism of the past that we have when it comes to the 50s, but I have a very, very modern mindset. A lot of you guys that have been around for a while know that I lean very far to the left. That's not the left. That's that's the left. I believe that love is love and people are people, and we all just need to stop judging other people and just start loving people and stop being jerks, right? Um, so my values is kind of like the idealized futuristic Star Trek world of values, which very much the 1950s and even today we are riddled with problematic relations between people and the world in general. So I don't want people to think that idealize the values in that sense of the 1950s, but I love the small town feel of the 1950s, that people knew each other, that people cared, and again, that is a very romanticized version of the 50s. But I grew up on a steady stream of Technicolor films, just like right into my bloodstream, and it is what formed so much of my world. And there's actually a joke at work that when I'm editing photos that I need to step away from the saturation levels, because I will just take those babies right up, because that's the world to me, is this just influx of color, and that's kind of the vision of the 50s that I have, if that makes sense. I don't know. Hopefully you guys understood that one. And then we have Asian Barbie 808 says, do you dress vintage daily? Yeah. For the most part, I do. I do have my lazy days, some days where I just throw on yoga pants and a sweatshirt, but quite honestly, that's why my muumuu collection is growing, because I'd much rather throw on a muumuu. But for me, it's as easy to throw on a t-shirt and a circle skirt as it is to throw on a t-shirt and a pair of yoga pants. So Elizabeth Loves You 85 has a couple questions, the first of which is, are you going to attend Viva 2020? Yes, indeedly do I am. I already got my rooms booked, and JL is on board to go. We believe Heather is 95% on board to go. We just need to solidify the fact that she is planning on going. But JD McPherson is playing the car show, so we're pretty sure she is going to show up. So we're very excited and very much looking forward to seeing all of you guys at Viva Las Vegas. She also asked, what is my favorite lipstick color / brand? I love the idea of a good red lip. I can't really execute them very well. My favorite brand of lipstick is actually Bomber Betty Cosmetics. I will leave her link in the description below. I actually met Jessie because I reviewed her lipsticks on this YouTube channel, and I will put a link to, I'll do a little playlist of some of the stuff that I've done with her and my original review of her lipsticks, her Cherry Doll Face line of lipsticks. But after that point that I did that years ago, not only did I fall in love with Jessie, but I fell in love with her lipsticks. They are so good. They stay put. They don't bleed up my lines. They stay on my lips, and they've got such a great staying power, and the color is amazing. She does have like a general line of lipsticks, but she also does custom lipsticks. So if you ever catch her at a show, you can have a lipstick made to order. It's insane. HRS Rogs asked a couple questions as well, one of them being, I live in the Midwest. So does this girl. And suggestions on how to keep warm with a vintage style during the winter months. Now, I do have a very old video that I will place on the screen right now that actually shows you kind of like my winter tips, but I layer. I do a lot of layering, cardigans, tights, and if you're living in a tundra, fleece line tights are going to be your best friend. And then I do a lot of really fabulous winter coats, but I still wear skirts in the winter. Call me crazy, but that's what fleece line tights were made from. Second question was favorite colors to wear in different seasons. I honestly, I wear the same colors all year round. I know I probably should favor some colors more than others. I maybe go with less pastels in the winter, but sometimes I just like to look like a spring flower in the middle of winter, just to remind everybody this won't last forever. The Vintage Vixen asks, what's one thing you know now that you wish you knew when you first started dressing vintage? I wish I knew the value of basics. That basics are your best friend, because I am a sucker for a good novelty print. I love them so much. So I have a lot of prints, and some days it's like, well, I really want to wear this print top, but I don't have any skirt to go with it, so I have to end up going and making myself a skirt. I know, life is hard. But it does make it easier if you really start with some really pared down basics that are really, really good quality, that are gonna last you for years to come. Rebecca Giles asked a couple questions, starting with, how do you create and layer winter outfits and still keep them looking vintage? I say your coat is your best bet. Get yourself some really cute coats that are vintage inspired, and your accessories, your hats and your scarves and your mittens and all of that are going to be what keep your look looking really classic and vintage. And plus, there are some really fun vintage styles to do with like winter accessories. The next half of her question, I keep talking for way too long to answer. I'm really trying to make this succinct. Basically, she wants to know my thoughts on fast fashion in the rockabilly / vintage world. And this is it's a tough question to answer, because while personally, if I was not doing the YouTube videos, I would not be shopping fast fashion, because of the fact that I'm very hard on my clothes. I need my clothes to last for long periods of time. I keep my clothes for years. High quality is important to me, but also I am fortunate enough to be at a point in my life where I can spend the money for better quality garments. With that being said, I do make videos that feature fast fashion websites such as Wish and some of the choices I made on Amazon, and next month I'll be featuring Rosegal. So am I promoting buying from fast fashion websites? No. I very clearly will say in those videos that what I'm going to say right here, not everybody has the income to be able to buy the higher quality garments, and it's not always easy sometimes to find them on sale or find them secondhand, or you're looking for something very, very particular, so you're left with shopping on fast fashion websites. With that in mind is one of the reasons why I started covering them in the videos, is because especially for somebody where $25 for a skirt is, that $25 is a lot of money. I want that person to know what it is that they are going to get for that $25, because if they're going to spend that money, I don't want them getting something that's either not going to look like what they paid for, or is going to fall apart on them right away. So I want people to really know what it is that they're getting. So if you've got to make those choices, I want you to make the most educated choice that you can. And that's as succinct as I can do it. Now, do I have some tricks for maybe getting higher quality, better garments at a better price point? I do, and that's why you have to keep watching the $100 challenge videos, so you can get all those tips and tricks. I'm sorry for the, I don't know what, I think somebody's moving furniture up there is what I think. Robin A. Ramirez asks, are there any don'ts in mixing vintage and modern? To which my long-winded response to this is absolutely not. I do not subscribe to there being any rules. I say go with what makes you happy and mix things the way you'd like and just be your unique self. Robin also asked one of my other favorite questions, which is, you wake up late and you have to be out the door in 2 minutes. What's your look for the day? It's like you know me. This is my Monday through Friday, is pretty much waking up late every day. I am not a morning person, but what I do do is I actually plan out my outfit the night before so that it is all ready to go in the morning. Now, I will say that I also am one of those people who will not iron her items as they come out of the dryer. I will iron them right before I want to wear them. So sometimes my decision of what I'm wearing is based on whether I feel like ironing or not. But okay, let's just say for the most part that my outfit is set, and then my hair is really my next priority, which is if I have any curl left in my hair, it goes up into a poodle. If I have no curl left in my hair, it goes into a ballerina bun. It's the easiest thing to do. I don't know. It's not really 1950s so much, but that's how it ends up. And then I tend to just throw my makeup in, and then I'll do my makeup when I get to work or when I'm at lunch or something like that. If for some reason my outfit is not picked out the night before, it usually entails a t-shirt and a circle skirt, because I am very fortunate that I can pretty much wear whatever kind of level of casual to work that I can. So yeah, it's usually that and like a pair of Chucks, then I run out the door. Wendy K says, I could really use some advice on winter shoes that go with vintage style skirts and dresses. I want to be warm and comfortable, but feel insecure about matching them with winter shoes. I favor a lot of the really low, they're like little booties, but they're not like ankle boots. I guess they're called booties. Are they called booties? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. But those are the ones I kind of favor for the winter months, or anything that is closed toe. So I guess the way I really kind of think about it is if it looks good with my leg in tights, like it doesn't look odd, like I'm wearing socks with sandals, that's how I kind of gauge whether this really works or not with a skirt and dress. Lauren would like to know some other thrifty or less expensive ideas for building up a rockabilly wardrobe. She is a curvaceous size 18. I feel you there, girl. And the pinup look flatters her figure so much. I would say some of my favorite lower cost sites are, I think I mentioned earlier, Poshmark. You can follow your size and also like labels that you like. Swap and Sells, a great place to go. And also keep a lookout at places like Target and Kohl's and any of like your local stores as well. I feel like they're a really good resource for tops. Not so much for skirts. Pants sometimes, yes, but skirts not as much. But I feel like you can find some really cute ones with like little bows or like a Peter Pan collar, sweaters, cardigans, all those kind of things are really great to find there. I also like for online, I really like Collectif. Well, let's be honest, I love Collectif. Lindy Bop has some really good options. Shop the sale section. So sign up for the emails for places like Tatiana and Heart of Haute. Well, this on sale, but just get those emails so you can get those emails for when those sales go on, and then that way you can snag some really good pieces at an affordable price. Okay, so Matahari asked, does growing older have any kind of impact on your vintage style? My question may sound weird, but it's really something I'm thinking a lot about since I turned 30 in a year. And quite honestly, I will say I have no. Not at all. Every year that goes by, I just keep embracing how I feel. Again, not how others feel, but how I feel and how I want to dress. And I just go with that. I mean, I do find that as I get older, like areas that used to be like, oh, well, that's my flattering area, they may have moved around or changed a little bit. So my styles, where maybe I'm featuring other areas when I'm kind of like feeling myself, may change a little bit. But I mean, it's probably really about it. Okay, so shiny nachos and raspberry love kind of have a similar question about petticoats and crinolines. I will say this. Malcolm Oates is my best friend for petticoats and crinolines. I love them to pieces. It's just It just works really well. My favorite petticoat from them, I think, or crinoline, is actually the Megan. It only has like 2 layers to it. It doesn't give a ton of fluff to your skirt. It just gives a little bit, but it is the most comfortable to wear on a daily basis. And I wear crinolines probably 4 to 5 days out of the 7 days in a week. So I wear them a lot, and they hold up really, really well. I love them a lot. Did I say that? I think I did. Shiny Nachos also wants to know, what do you do to make heels more comfy to wear all day? Wedges. I don't do heels. Wedges tend to be a lot more comfortable for your foot, and I only buy, what is that, like a 2-inch, maybe like a 2-3 inch heels, really all I go. I love the ladies that can rock those really high heels. That ain't me. I am way too clumsy for that, so I go with the much lower heel. But wedges are really, really comfortable. In fact, it's actually a more comfortable position for your foot to be in than actually flat on the ground. And then a category that's going to be all on its own because she is awesome and I love her to pieces is Miss Mosey D. She asked, who is your all-time favorite bands to watch perform, and will you go to one of mine one day? Yes, I will. And if you guys have never heard of Miss Mosey D, I will leave a link in the description to her sites because she has an amazing voice, and they are actually self-producing their very first album. They're pulling together funds for that, and I'm super excited for her. So if you get a chance to see Miss Mosey D, make sure that you do. Who are my all-time favorite bands to watch? I know I'm going to miss a bunch of them, but just for the people I will knock people over to go see, start with those. Janie McPherson is definitely one of them. Cy Cranston, he is just, he's electric on stage. Speaking of electric on stage, Hillbilly Casino, if you have never seen them live, they are amazing live. Well, they're amazing anyway. Delta Bombers, Miss Wanda Jackson, I love her to pieces. Never seen her perform live. Well, once when I was a very young child with Kenny Rogers, but Miss Dolly Parton, I would love to see her live. And the list goes on. So that is all the questions that I feel like I have time. This video is going to be so long, but this was really, really fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If you have any other questions, be sure to let me know in the comment section below. For the remainder of the questions, if you did not get your question answered, well, it's gonna get answered over on my Instagram stories. So make sure you follow me over there as a Vintage Vanity. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great night, and be sure to follow me on all the social media as a Vintage Vanity. If you want to shop my clothing line, go ahead and click on that boomerang right there. If you don't want to miss any other future videos on this channel, make sure that you are subscribed. And if you just want to keep watching more videos, go ahead and click on the video you see right there. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you soon. Bye.